Woo, woo. Man, hello? Oh, it's so cold. I wish I could just warm up my number. Well, in today's video, we are going to be showing you exactly that. We're going to be showing you how to warm up your new 10DLC A2P phone number so that the carriers don't shiver when they see your traffic on their networks. Hi, my name is Will Craig. I'm a co-founder of a company called Signal House. We are a messaging provider that specializes in providing connectivity for CRMs and marketing platforms, but we can power any messaging that is sent from an application to a person, meaning from a software system to someone's handset. In today's video, we're going to be showing you when you get a brand new phone number, how you can warm that up so the carriers don't think that you are a bad actor, because bad actors are out there ruining this messaging ecosystem for everyone. And you want to make sure that you are firmly in the good actor camp so your phone number will not have any flags, will not have any eyes on it, and you can send all of the traffic that you could possibly want. So without further ado, I'm going to take this coat off because it's really hot in here. And then I will jump back into the video. Okay, one quick wardrobe change later, and we are ready to jump in. But before we do, let's talk a little bit about the 10DLC A2P ecosystem, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. So 10DLC really is just 10-digit long code. I know it's a little bit confusing, but it's very simple. These are just 10-digit phone numbers, and the ones that we all know and use every single day, where the first 3-digit corresponds to an area code in the United States. Now, A2P stands for application to person, which this just means sending a message from a software system to someone's handset and vice versa, from a handset to a software system. And so businesses are able to send traffic from a 10-digit phone number through a process called 10DLC A2P registration. And that registration is a two-step process where the first step is registering your brand or business information, and second step is your campaign or messaging use case. Now, I went through that very quickly, but it's because we have a ton of videos on our channel already that really go through the nuances of the 10DLC brand and campaign process and everything that has to do with that. So let's assume that you've went through that process, you're fully approved, and you are ready to go, and you have just chosen your first 10-digit phone number. Now, what should you do? Should you blast out a bunch of messages to your contact list and let them know that you have a new phone number? Should you just text friends and family? What is the best way to warm up your phone number? And what does warming up your phone number even mean? Well, it's a great question. So each time your phone is, or each time a phone number in general is recycled, and by recycled, I just mean purchased and then released, when that phone number is newly acquired again, the carriers are keeping a close eye on it. It's because bad actors within the messaging ecosystem do what they call burning numbers. And really all this means is that they're going to grab a phone number, they're going to send as many scam messages on it as possible until the carriers block that number. And then they are going to just recycle the number and continue to go again. And they'll probably have multiple campaigns as well, so they're able to juggle between different campaigns. What you want to make sure that you don't do is you don't want to have any habits that are similar to a bad actor. Now, we know that you are a good actor using the messaging ecosystem to communicate with your customers, but not everyone will be using it for that purpose. And so you have to make sure that the footprint that you are leaving is not one that's indicative of you being a bad actor. So what can you do? And there's really 3 things that I would recommend to everyone when they get a new phone number, any new phone number, even if you already have a fully approved campaign. Each time you get a new phone number, these are the steps that I would take to make sure that you're easing it in and that the carriers don't suspect you of any untoward activity that you are not doing. So the first one, text your friends and family, anyone who could possibly respond, because what you want to have here are response rates. You want to show that you're having someone responding to you. They're not opting out. They're not reporting you as junk. They are having a normal conversation with you. You also want to make sure that the messages that you're sending are conversational. You don't want to send the same, "Hi, this is Will. I've gotten a new phone number. I am warming it up so I don't have the phone number blocked by the carriers." You don't want to send that same text message to 100 people, because they're going to see that that is the same message that was sent out to a large number of individuals. And they're going to be like, that's something that we would assume a bad actor might do when they get a brand new phone number. Now, not every bad actor would do that. And there are some good actors that would also send a message to 100 people. I'm not saying that you're a bad actor if you are doing this. I'm saying that these are patterns and behaviors that a bad actor would have. And your goal to avoid any kind of issues with your phone number is to make sure that you completely avoid any patterns or behaviors that would be indicative of being a bad actor. So that's the first thing. Text friends and family, anyone who will respond, have very normal conversations. Avoid any coarse language or any sexual innuendos or anything like that. The reason why I say that is because sexual content, harassment, alcohol, firearm, tobacco, these are all keywords that are banned by the carriers. These are what is considered shaft content: sexual harassment, alcohol, firearm, tobacco. You don't want to include any of that. A great story that I have is one example of how not to warm up your phone number is someone got a new phone number, then they messaged some of their friends and said, hey, I have your wife and kids held hostage. They thought it was funny because this is a new phone number. The friend wouldn't know. Funny joke, right? No, not at all. They got completely banned because that's obviously not an okay use case. So please have very normal conversations with your friends and family where they are responding. Conversational messaging is key here. Second, limit your initial outreach volume. And so when you are transitioning into having conversations with customers, I would start slow, and I would start with, again, these customers that you know are going to respond. So if you have any regulars, if you have any customers who are your go-to number one customers, start with that group first and then slowly expand outwards with that phone number. And then the third thing, and this one is probably the most important, is that if you are doing any kind of re-engagement of your database, you need to be very careful about that, because what the carriers are looking for are opt-out rates. And you could have a list of people who consented to you, they wanted to receive information. I think the perfect example is an auto detailer. Let's say that you got in a car accident, you needed some body work done, you subscribed to their messaging because you thought it might be helpful, and that you also thought, I might want to see what kind of promotional offers they have. 2 months later, you decide, you know what, I don't really need that anymore. They're re-engaging their database now. I'm going to opt out. And that's fine. You consented to it, and now you've decided to revoke that consent. There is nothing wrong with that from a messaging ecosystem standpoint. It is just how many people are opting out at a given time, because an opt-out rate above 3% is indicative of you not having consent from the people that you are messaging, because if you don't have consent, a high proportion is going to opt out. And so that's why if you are doing any kind of database re-engagement, I would drip those out and I would fold them into your normal conversational messaging, because you can probably assume that around 5% of those people, if you haven't talked to them in a little while, they might not need your service anymore and they might want to opt out. Again, perfectly fine, not a problem with that. But you don't want the carriers to see that you have a massive spike in your opt-out rate from any kind of messaging campaign that goes out. So just inner work that traffic in, have these conversations with your friends, family, where it's conversational, and limit that initial outreach. Those are the key ways that you can avoid getting your number flagged as spam, or getting a carrier flag, which actually blocks the traffic on that carrier on your phone number. And so in a video coming up, we're actually going to be talking all about carrier flags. So if you're interested, stay tuned for that one. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. We release content like this 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, where we educate you on the messaging ecosystem. If you happen to be someone who uses Go High Level or HubSpot, we have applications that are one-click integration specifically for you. HubSpot's already live. Go High Level is launching in under 30 days from the date this video was released. So early May 2025, we will have our Go High Level application that will be a native application to Go High Level. Very simple and seamless to use, where we are submitting your campaigns for you, where we are creating websites for the accounts that do not have an approvable website and they aren't able to make adjustments to theirs, and they want a 10DLC approved page that they're able to use for this campaign. So we're doing all of that work for you so you don't have to, and we're really excited to see those come to fruition. So anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.